Last time at Oaks Park Maths Department, we saw how detailed tracking and targeting add up, and how a staff night out is good news for students.
Because if the teachers are working with the same voice and the same excitement, then the students will get the same deal, the same good value.
In programme 2, we look at why the department counts recreational maths and good teamwork as central to success. To successfully engage students with maths is no easy job. According to Ofsted, few secondary pupils cite maths as their favourite subject, even those who are doing very well. At Oaks Park Maths Department, they're trying hard to reverse this trend.
OK, guys, come on in, let's go. World Maths Day, welcome everyone. Let's go. Little ones first, let's go, Johnny.
Today, it's World Maths Day, and students are preparing to lock horns in a global maths battle.
OK. Essentially, 40 to 50,000 kids are online at the same time, and millions of kids throughout the whole world are playing each other in basic mental operations. It's getting absolutely everyone involved in maths, whether they're doing A-level maths and going to Cambridge University, which we have in this school, or somebody who just started in year 7.
What did you come? Fourth? Second? Third? Second.
So it's getting absolutely everyone involved. Hopefully that buzz will continue for the rest of the term and the rest of the year, because it's something for all the students and teachers to look forward to.
Come on!
63 in 60 seconds. Another record by Tanisha, guys. Well done.
Since the launch of the Maths Department, recreational maths has played a central role.
Right time you won, isn't it? Well done. In the first year we arrived, I thought it would be a good idea to start getting the chess as something that would be regularly part of the Maths Department. So I bought in tons of chess equipment and organised a chess tournament for the whole of Year 7, and the guys in Year 7 taught each other how to play chess, and it became part of the culture of the Maths Department from an early stage.
In Mr. Progress Room, like, every lunchtime is chess club, and like, if you ever come in here, there's like, you know, mess all over the floor, because just like so many people come in and like just sort of have fun, really.
The chess clubs and the puzzle clubs that we run in the Maths Department at lunchtime, I suppose, add to the environment that this is a thinking, this is a maths corridor, this is a maths zone, a thinking zone. It's fine to be good at solving problems.
Here is a circle, it knows how to get around. It has a radius from centre to rim. Pi r squared sounds like area to me. If I need a circumference, I just use my D.
When you walk into Oaks Park and you walk into the Maths Department, it feels maths. And that sounds a bit silly, but lots of departments don't feel maths. And I vividly remember sitting in Stephen's classroom once and looking at the clock, and I was making some notes. I looked at the clock and I was thinking to myself, how much longer have I got left? And I was writing some notes. And then I looked at the clock again, and it was earlier than when I looked at it before. And it took me moments to think, what on earth's going on here? And the clock was going backwards. And it's these little quirky things that make you stop and think mathematically, that are all around the classroom.
OK, so before we start on our problem-solving activity for today, which is going to be the main part of the lesson, just as a quick warm-up, I wanted to reintroduce one of our matchstick problems for people to have a go at.
Engaging students in more orthodox lessons is important too.
Excellent, OK.
When we want to engage the students in the maths lesson, we would want them to feel part of what we do. Rather than just sitting and watching, we would want them to be interacting in any meaning of the word, whether they're coming up to the board and working things through on the board, interacting with some of the software on the board. Maybe they'll be doing some work in the class in small groups with cards or activities. Maybe there's an activity where the whole class is involved together. It could be high-speed shouting out, it could be thinking, it could be a race game, anything which makes each student think, I want to be part of this, I want to be doing. And that is the secret to engagement, making every child a part of what's going on.
15.5.
Not 6.
6.
15.6?
15.6.
What sounds like
Navis.
area to me?
Navis.
Pi, well, we're going to need that. And these pi are square. These pi are square. But
being able to go into other people's lessons, to be able to watch them, being able to talk to them about their lessons, that knowing the quality of teaching and learning and knowing what it looks like, knowing what children look like when they're in a great lesson, knowing how they feel, knowing what teachers say that makes a great lesson, knowing the resources that are used. And Stephen has all that about him. And because he has that about him, he can pass that on.
we're going to have a race here. I want you guys to add them up with a calculator, and I'm going to try and add them up in my head, all right? And we'll have a race. OK, ready? Starting now. Let's have a think. 3, that's going to be 20, 16...
Finished.
1,661.
Do you think they won? Can you read this aloud, please? Read this aloud.
The total is 1,661. Sorry, I win. Thanks for taking part, Mr. F.
There we are. Thank you for taking part. The total is indeed 1,661.
Away from the classroom, Stephen has a pressing issue to resolve. Struggling Year 11 student Dwayne's been taken off a booster course designed to help him get a GCSE C grade in his summer resit. Course leader Raj Jutli is clear he must stay off, but Deputy Head David Dutch insists he's reinstated. Between lessons, Stephen seizes his chance to invite Dwayne back.
What you need ultimately is a C grade.
Yeah.
And if you're happy to be back in the programme, and OK, it didn't get off to a great start, which is why we suggested that perhaps it was going to stop, but if you're happy to start again and get back in the programme, it's actually going to help you more.
Yeah.
We want you to get a C. That C is going to do wonders. You're bright enough to get the C.
Yeah.
You're bone idle, but you're bright, OK?
Yeah, of course, I appreciate that. Take the opportunity again.
It's about making an effort, really.
Yeah, of course, I appreciate it.
All right, all right. Well, that's great news. Well done. Well done. Top.
Have a good lesson in maths, Dwayne.
While Dwayne seems pleased to be back on the course, programme leader Raj Jutli remains oblivious to this development.
25 divided by 100, then the answer you
No,
give
no.
the time.
25 divided by 100 gives you a percentage, decimal.
Oh, right.
Okay, so you've already divided it by 100.
Good. Percentages ain't a strong point in my maths, so it was good to go over it just to make sure I could do well in the next test if any percentage questions come up.
Meanwhile, missing CD math student Simona, who'd decided against doing her resits, has had second thoughts.
Well, I was just confused. I didn't know if I should do it or I should do it later. But then I had the chat with my mum and we decided it's probably better for me to do it in school. I'll still remember all the equations and everything.
It's lunchtime chess club with Stephen Froggatt. And Raj has just discovered Dwayne's back on her course.
Yeah, no. So the other is Dwayne. I was under the impression that he's not very good.
Well, Mr. Do you see Dave's
Yeah,
email?
but then we spoke about it on the actual Tuesday when we had the meeting, and that clarified that he wasn't in it.
Dave's taking him on as his tutor anyway,
Yeah.
but he's got to get his act together and
It's
and
just
do it.
very mixed messages because I phoned as well.
It was after you phoned that we got the message from Dave.
Yeah, and I thought because we had discussed it well, because I had spoken about it in the meeting after David sent that email.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, no, I know.
Put you down and undermine you at all.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
I think there's just mixed messages. If we just talk about it later.
Yeah. Raj spoke to me. She was quite angry when I said, actually, he's coming back on. And she said, I can't believe that you've gone behind my back in a way. But I explained the position from both sides, and I appreciated that she'd been hurt and been upset. I said, ultimately, it's got to be about the students. I think the relationship we have as a department with each other really helps us resolve issues and know that actually we're not going to come to blows over this. We're going to be professional, we're going to be grown up, and then we can get back to the next meal that we're going to have out, you know.
Building a successful maths department from scratch was never going to be easy. In 2003, Stephen Froggatt and the rest of Oaks Park School faced their first Ofsted inspection. Ofsted rated the maths department good, but they spotted some problems.
The Ofsted inspector asked me if I knew how well my colleagues were getting on in their lessons, and I said, well, actually, I don't really know. I know my class is doing okay. I can see test results, but as for the day-to-day, I wasn't really sure. So we agreed it would be useful to have a more open door policy in the department, which we've kept all this time. They said, for example, you need to have clearer job descriptions for the staff in your team so that everyone has a better idea of what they're doing and the part they play. And they also said it's important that you have a better, clearer vision for where you're going as a department. Your planning for the next couple of years doesn't really exist, and you've got to have a clearer picture than crisis management, just stumbling from one year into the next. The issue of job descriptions we dealt with probably most easily. We set down on paper what each person was responsible for doing and how the line management structure of the department worked. And it gave everyone a chance in the department to feel that they had a part to play.
I've got a separate assessment criteria as well for you. Please try to read it carefully. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. If you're not sure about anything, please ask me or Mr. Froggatt, you know.
Right now here, because I'm responsible for all these additional GCSE qualifications, so yes, I had to do lots of hard work during the last year. And I think it's not finally paying off now when I see that, things are working. And I can say very proudly that, look, I am contributing in our department. And yes, I am the part of a very successful Spark maths team. And that's very rewarding.
As well as the issue of staff responsibilities, Ofsted still needed Stephen to tackle the department's long-term future.
So far, we'd been planning really only for 1 year. So when we were challenged on that, I thought, well, no, this is important. We need to know. We have to think about A-levels, even though they were a couple of years down the line. Do we know what we're doing? Do we know how we're going to teach that? Have we got enough teachers capable of teaching A-level? All these sort of questions. So I needed to just unroll the vision just a little bit further into the future and start to think about having a 5-year plan. So over the next 5 years, what are the big picture? What are the things that's going to happen here? Some of these things are going on. I'm particularly excited by podcasts.
And I think you generally get a sense that you have a lot in the department, that you have a lot to learn from each other, that it's not only that I can learn a lot from the department, but that different people have their own contributions, and those are really important.
All the pupils are keen to get up and have a go, even if they don't know the answer. So you might do it with a Year 7 class, and half of the class by the end of the lesson will have come up and had a go, and nobody will have got it right. And it encourages the idea that it's OK to get up and have a go, even if you don't have the answer.
If I've, for example, done something in a lesson which has been particularly good, I'm encouraged in the next departmental meeting to give feedback and share those ideas.
We can get them practising marking each other's work so they can see what the examiner's looking for. We can get them into the idea that all homework is done at home, and when they're doing exercises in class, that's kind of just to learn how they're done.
He's created an atmosphere where people are able to take risks without fear of failure, or at least if they fail, without fear of ridicule. He's created that supportive atmosphere right from the beginning, so that when they get new members of staff now, they mostly fit in fairly quickly because of the empathy, I think, that he's shown with other teachers.
Next time, how a broad-based curriculum adds up for students and the pressure's on as bad behaviour threatens to derail the lead up to exams.
It is a shame when students like him, with 22 school days to go, are potentially throwing everything away.